Hello everyone and welcome back. I am super excited for today's video because today I want to show you guys how to make falafel. Falafel is a popular Middle Eastern fast food and it's made of ground chickpeas, fresh herbs and spices that are formed into little patties or balls and deep fried. It is such an incredible dish that I have eaten throughout my childhood, and it's actually easier to make than you think, but it screams authentic, delicious. It reminds me of home, and it's such a treat for me to be able to recreate dishes like this for my family to enjoy here in the US. So before we get started on this video, please be sure to subscribe to my channel down below, hit that thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright guys, now if you are after the best flavor and texture, you need to start with dry chickpeas. Many falafel recipes use canned chickpeas, which is not authentic at all. Canned chickpeas, you guys know, it's already been cooked and it's going to cause your falafel to fall apart in the hot oil, and it's not going to give you the best texture. So always start with dry chickpeas, place that in a large bowl, and now I'm going to cover them with water. The chickpeas is going to triple in size and it's going to absorb quite a bit of the water, so really make sure you are using a large bowl and cover it with a good amount of water so that they stay fully submerged. And it's easy to do this step overnight because once your chickpeas are ready, the falafel come together very quickly. So be sure to let your chickpeas soak a minimum of 18 hours, and that's how they should look like. Now I'm going to take them over to the sink so we can drain them and rinse them. Now I'm going to place my chickpeas back into the bowl and we will add our vegetables. How much vegetables you add, it is really up to you. Just keep in mind, the more vegetables you add, the darker your falafel is going to be. So for me today, I'm going to probably add about half a cup of cilantro and half a cup of parsley, 7-8 leaves of mint, a couple of cloves of garlic, and lastly I'm going to do a quarter of this onion because my onion is really big. If you're using a small onion, you can do half. We'll give that a mix before I process it. So now I'm going to use my food processor to process this mixture. You want the consistency to be coarse, almost paste-like. If you like your falafel to be on the crunchy, crispy side, have it more coarse. So I'm going to do these in batches and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, this is the last batch I did. I'm going to add it to the bowl of my stand mixture right now. Now to my batter, I'm going to add my spices. I'm going to add about 1 full teaspoon of cumin, 1 full teaspoon of coriander, and a full teaspoon of salt, and lastly some black pepper. Alright, that's good enough. Now I'm going to use my stand mixture to knead my dough for about 5 to 8 minutes. You can totally do this step by hand, but I'm going to save myself some time today and use my stand mixture. And like I said, we're going to knead it for about 5 to 8 minutes. So my dough now is ready. You can see our soaked ground chickpeas, because they still have plenty of uncooked starch in them, they help everything to bind together quite well without the need to add flour. But it can be still a little bit crumbly, so the trick is to cover the dough and let it sit for 30 minutes in order for any excess amount of starch to seep out, and this will help right now when we come to form our falafel for everything to stick together and not fall apart. So I'm just going to cover it right now and let it sit for 30 minutes. Now while I wait for my dough to rest, I'm going to work on our tahini sauce. For this one, you just need 1 cup of tahini, half cup of yogurt, 1 cup of water, and the juice of 1 lemon, and of course you need your salt and pepper. So I'm going to start by whisking all my ingredients in this bowl. That looks good enough. Give it a taste test. Now I only have 10 minutes left on the clock, so I'm going to start heating my oil. So in a large saucepan like this, I'm going to add about 2 to 3 inches of oil. I'm using vegetable oil, but you can use the oil of your choice. After half an hour just before frying my falafel, I like to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and we're going to mix that in. Let's head over to the stove so we can fry our falafel. So here's my frying station. I got my dough right here, and on this side I have a little bit of water, and this is optional. This is white sesame seed. I like it because it will make the falafel coating more crunchier, and it will give it a slight of a nutty flavor. So I do like that. And I also have my falafel tool here. I got it from Amazon. I'll make sure to link it below. But don't worry, if you don't have that, I'll show you how to form your falafel using 2 spoons. And on this side, I have a plate lined with paper towel for our finished falafel. So if you have a thermometer, the temperature of the oil should be around 350, 360 Fahrenheit. If you don't have a thermometer, you can test the oil if it's ready by dropping a piece of your dough in the oil. If it sizzles like this, then your oil is good to go. So to use this tool, you press it down like this and you get some falafel dough on it and smooth it out using this little spatula. The key is not to pack your falafel. Don't press too hard on it. Just smooth it out gently like this. Then I like to poke a hole like this, and then we can dip it in our sesame seed. You can use your finger to just gently press them in, and now gently drop it in the oil very carefully. It is always a good idea to fry 1 falafel first, just to test the temperature of the oil. It should take about 3 to 4 minutes if the oil temperature is right to brown and get nice color and be cooked all the way through. If the temperature of the oil is too high, what's gonna happen is going to brown and get nice color, but then it's not going to be fully cooked on the inside. I like to dip my tool in the water a little bit just to make sure nothing sticks. I'll show you guys again. Now I'll show you how to use 2 spoons. Get a little bit of water, shake the excess. Now scoop some of the dough on 1 spoon like this. And using the other spoon, you're going to smooth it out and shape it. Now you can just drop it in the sesame seed on one side. Using the other spoon, just press gently on the sesame seed. And now drop it in the oil. Don't worry about the falling sesame seed. This is normal and unavoidable. Once you finish with the oil, you can just strain them and take them out. Alright guys, our falafels are now done. I've been snacking on them as I was frying them. They are very crunchy and crispy on the outside, very fluffy and tender on the inside. There's plenty of ways to serve falafel. You can actually just have it like this on its own next to the tahini sauce for dipping, or some people serve it over salad or over hummus with toasted pita bread. That's a good option. But my favorite way to serve it, it's the way I grew up eating it, which is in a sandwich, like a wrap. I'm sure you guys have seen it. It's one of the most popular presentations for falafel. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make the best falafel sandwich ever. So grab 1 large tortilla bread, and we're going to take 1 spoon of hummus and just spread it on top. Take your falafel and just crush it. You can use as many as you want. Now here I have all the vegetables that I like to use and pickles, so make sure you use whatever you like. So I'm going to just run around this board and just add a little bit of everything. I cut everything very thin because I want to fit as many as I can and still be able to wrap my sandwich. Some very thin lemon wedges, parsley, pickles, mint leaves, And I think lastly we're going to add our lettuce. As far for vegetables, our tahini sauce, drizzle that on top and sprinkle some sumac. And we're just going to try to wrap our sandwich now. I know you probably had falafel before, but give me a favor and try the sandwich. It is absolutely phenomenal. It has all the vegetables that you ever need and the falafel. It's a full-on meal. So I really like serving it this way. This is how my family likes it too. But even like that, it has so much crunchiness on the outside. It's very soft and tender on the inside, all the way cooked through. It is good. It's super good, but it's dangerously good because this is like very addicting. You would think like you're eating french fries, you keep just like snacking, but this is packed with protein, so you're gonna get full quickly. Just be careful. I know it is hard to hold back, but you gotta. So I highly recommend you try this recipe. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you did enjoy this video, please thumbs it up, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time. Bye!